Hey guys, the book that I am going to read to you right now is called The Other Side, and it is written by Jacqueline Woods, and the illustrations are done by E.B. Lewis. And this is a fictional story. It has a character in it named Clover, and it's about this fence that divides the white side of the town from the black African American side of the town. And we have been talking about this kind of in our connections unit with Martin Luther King. And Clover really doesn't understand why they have to be divided and why there's this other side that she can't go to. So, this is a fictional story, but it kind of has to do with that time frame of when people were separated and segregated from each other. The other side. That summer, the fence had stretched through our town. That stretched through our town seemed bigger. We lived in a yellow house on one side of it. White people lived on the other. And Mama said, "Don't climb over that fence when you play." She said it wasn't safe. They live in the yellow house. That summer, there was a girl who wore a pink sweater. Each morning, she climbed up on the fence and stared over at our side. Sometimes I stared back. She never sat on the fence with anybody, that girl didn't. So look, the fence is separating them. And they're kind of both looking at it like, what? Once, when we were jumping rope, she asked if she could play, and my friend Sandra said no, without even asking the rest of us. I don't know what I would have said. Maybe yes, maybe no. Oh, they want to play together. They don't really understand why they can't play together. It's kind of how a lot of people felt. Was why are people saying that we have to go to different schools and we can't play together? It's so weird. That summer, everyone and everything on the other side of the fence seemed far away. When I asked my mama why, she said, "Because that's the way things have always been." Sometimes, when me and Mama went into town, I saw that girl with her mama. She looked sad sometimes, that girl did. "Don't stare," my mama said. "It's not polite." Oh, they're looking at each other. They recognize each other. They've seen each other at the side of the fence before, but they don't really know each other. But sometimes she looks sad. I think she wants a friend. That's my prediction. Has your mom ever said that to someone though? Like, don't stare. You're not supposed to look at people. Yeah, it is rude to stare. It rained a lot that summer. On rainy days, that girl sat on the fence in a raincoat. She let herself get all wet and acted like she didn't even care. Sometimes I saw her dancing around in puddles, splashing and laughing. So they keep watching each other and they keep seeing each other, but nobody's ever played with anyone on the other side of the fence. It's just unheard of. It was different times in the past. Mama wouldn't let me go out in the rain. "That's why I bought you rainy day toys," my mama said. "You stay inside here where it's warm and safe and dry." But every time it rained, I looked for that girl, and I always found her somewhere near the fence. They're both interested in each other. I think they want to be friends because she always looks for her, and the girl always goes to the fence. I think she knows that they see each other. Someplace in the middle of the summer, the rain stopped. When I walked outside, The grass was damp, and the sun was already high up in the sky. And I stood there with my hands up in the air. I felt brave that day. I felt free. Yay! In some places, it rains a lot in the summer. In Arizona, not too much. Sometimes we get a monsoon in the summer. I got close to the fence, and that girl asked me my name. Clover, I said. My name's Annie, she said. Annie Paul. I live over yonder, she said, by where you see the laundry. That's my house. That's my blouse on the hanging line. She smiled then. She had a pretty smile. They were finally introducing themselves. After all this time, they've been seeing each other. Their mom said they can't talk to each other by the fence, but they don't know why. They're just kids. And then I smiled, and we stood there looking at each other smiling. It's nice up on this fence, Annie said. You can see all over. I ran my hand along the fence. I reached up and touched the top of it. A fence like this was made for sitting on, Annie said. She looked at me. She looked at me sideways. She's kind of like, hey. She's not inviting her to sit by her, but I can tell that they want to play. My mama says I shouldn't go on the other side, I said. My mama says the same thing, but she never said nothing about sitting on it. Neither did mine, I said. Look. So they're not supposed to cross the fence, but it's okay if they sit on top of the fence because that's not crossing it. They can still be friends. That summer, me and Annie sat together on that fence, and when Sandra and them looked at me funny, I just made them believe I didn't care. They know they're not supposed to be friends, but why not? We learned about this in Connections. We're all equal. We all should be friends with whoever we want, right? Some mornings my mama watched us. I waited for her to tell me to get down from that fence before I'd break my neck or something, but she never did. I see you made a new friend, she said one morning, and I nodded and Mama smiled. That summer, me and Annie sat on that fence and watched the whole wide world around us. They're just sitting on the fence talking. They're friends. One day, Sandra and them were jumping rope near the fence. We asked if we could play. I don't care, said Sandra. And when we jumped, Sandra and me were partners the way we used to be. Wow, look, she finally invited her to play with everyone now. How nice. So instead of saying no this time to her because she looks different from them, they're letting her play. When we were too tired to jump anymore, we sat up on that fence, all of us in a long line. Ooh. They didn't have like technology back then. There wasn't like iPads or TV or anything. So kids would just play outside and talk and sit and relax. So this you can tell this is in the old days. Somebody or someday somebody's going to come along and knock this old fence down, Annie said. And I nodded. Yeah, I said, someday. So look at all the kids don't understand why the whole world is trying to keep them divided. But whenever Martin Luther King came and started doing the protests and they started changing laws for the Civil Rights Act of 1964, I'm sure they went around and knocked down fences and they, stopped separating schools and everybody could just play together and go to the same school. So that's the end of the book. You know what happens from here. This was a long time ago in the past, and it's a fictional story, but we know that this is kind of true because Martin Luther King came and he knocked all the fences down and everything that divides people of different color skins or different races. So I hope you guys enjoyed this book. It's one of my favorites. I remember reading this every year, even when we taught third and fourth grade to all the groups. So I hope you guys like this, The Other Side by Jacqueline Woodson. Have a good day, guys. Bye.